What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the only podcast on the internet where you're part of the Roto, part of the chill session, so to speak, brought to you by stonerman.net. And today we have a smaller circle. Today we just have good old Apollo, God of the freaking sun.
Woohoo!
Unfortunately, Roger had to attend some official super genius conference thing.
Carpentry issues.
Yes. And we're starting off today's show with a Chill Crew double feature review.
Oh, yeah.
And the first movie we checked out was Spectre. And I was really looking forward to this movie, but I was a little let down by it, to be honest, because I was really looking forward to the villains, and I felt like they were underutilized throughout the movie. The first,
I actually completely agree with that.
Oh, nice. Because I know we have different opinions on this. But I feel like the first half of the movie, you don't even see the villains mostly.
That's true.
And I felt like the plot was a little, generic for my taste, especially compared to the first three James Bond. They were talking about how, this is, the puppeteer behind the first three movies, so I figured there'd be, a better way to explain how he was behind the scenes this whole time. They don't really dabble in that, which I was really hoping they would. And they kill off Batista really quick, and as you've listened to past podcasts, I was looking, this had potential to be the best James Bond ever because it had Christoph Waltz and Batista. And Christoph Waltz was great, but I feel like with his talent and everything, they could have done way better with him. I felt like the pacing was pretty slow throughout the movie. So
I felt like they underutilized Christoph Waltz acting. His potential.
Yeah, dude, I totally agree. And Batista,
And same with Batista, even.
One
word.
Yeah, he gets one word in the movie. And I guess they tried to give him, a special henchman power. He had the thumb, the metal thumbs.
Yeah.
And, he just popped someone's eyeballs.
Jeez.
That was pretty cool. I mean, the movie was definitely watchable, but compared to the other Bonds movie, I was kind of disappointed overall.
I would have to disagree with you. I thought it was probably the high point of all the films. It was just awesome to me.
It's your favorite of all of them?
I think so.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
have to rewatch them all, especially Skyfall, but I don't know. But
I even like Casino Royale a little better, to be honest. Because it did get into the intense poker scene and stuff.
That was a really good one, but this one was just awesome. I loved the actors. It was actually pretty slow at some points. It could have used a little bit spicing up. But then there was other times, on the train scene. I wonder if you noticed, when they were just having the slow moment between Bond and his hot woman friend.
Yeah.
And then, out of nowhere, you just see Batista's reflection coming up on the on the fucking
window.
Martini thing.
Oh,
yeah, whatever. And then he just flips the table and they just start fighting and it instantly gets all intense and it's damn.
The train scene was one of my favorites, and another one of my favorites was the car chase scene when Bond's in the airplane. I thought that was pretty cool as well.
Oh yeah, that was just straight up ridiculous when he just lands it and it crashed into explosions.
And but I felt like it really started getting interesting at the end because Christoph Waltz, I forget his character's name off the top of my head, but he was playing, at the end of the movie, he was playing mind games with James Bond, saying all these people's deaths are in his hands and stuff, and I kind of felt like a Joker vibe with the arrows, he had to walk.
Yeah.
And I felt like if they focused more on that throughout the movie, I would have liked it a little more.
Yeah, me too. They should have focused more on how this was a personal vendetta, they didn't even get into it until 3/4 of the way through the movie, because they couldn't, but they could have done creepy things where Christoph Waltz just dropping hints secretly, and then Bond doesn't know what to make of him, but then he explains it at the end. But they didn't really do that. He just kind of destroyed his life from behind the scenes.
And I want to drop a minor spoiler. Christoph Waltz turns out to be his stepbrother, and I feel like they just kind of glossed over that a little bit. They didn't really get too deep into that, I felt like.
Yeah, I felt like it should have been a more shocking moment, especially for Bond to find out. Instead, he was just kind of oh.
They do leave room for a sequel, but I won't spoil the movie for those who want to see it.
That's true.
But for you new viewers out there, we have a very unique rating system. We rank movies based on how dank they are. Example, if we hate the movie and we think it's not worth watching, we give it a resin because resin's just disgusting. No one wants to smoke that. If we think the movie's okay for some people, get a quick fix, go to the movies, we give it a mids. If it gets the job done, it keeps you thoroughly entertained throughout the movie, we give it a dank. And if it's an absolutely must-see, this will destroy your mind, we give it a wax. And on that rating scale, I'm just going to have to give this movie a mids. It got me a quick fix, but I felt like I could have gone a little further with it.
I'm going to go with dank, personally.
Oh, you thought it was nice and dank?
I don't think it reaches wax. It had enough potential to reach wax easy, kind of like Dark Knight Rises, but it's just dank.
I feel you there.
Topic 2 of the night. We saw Peanuts in theaters in our double feature along with Spectre, and I thought it was a pretty cute kids movie, but I mean, I didn't honestly feel like this was like comparable to like
Lego Movie or Inside Out or anything like
something like that. Yeah, it was very. It felt like a very linear storyline, just kind of expectable.
Yeah, like, and it does throw back to Peanuts a little bit. Like, they have old jokes, old gags they used to do in the old cartoons. But we were talking after the movie, one noticeable gag that was missing was...
He never kicked the football.
Yeah, they never even brought that up at all. That's their most famous Charlie Brown scene.
Yeah, that was the first thing I was literally waiting for that the whole time, man.
But they brought back...
Maybe there was a post-credits thing we missed.
Oh, it could have been post-credits because we had to make it to the next movie.
True.
But they did bring back some cool scenes like the Nichols thing when Lucy's a psychiatrist. They brought back the Snoopy Red Baron with updated visuals. I thought that was actually pretty cool.
Updated visuals.
I thought that was pretty cool, but I thought that storyline dragged on a little too much.
That's true. It was a long part of the film.
I mean, I guess it was charming and whatnot.
That's a good way to put it for the kids.
But it's definitely kid-centric, and it's like innocent humor throughout. It's definitely, if you're a Peanuts fan, you'll love this movie. But if you're looking for a more like adult-centric animated film, look for a more Inside Out or Lego Movie. For the Peanuts, probably just going to give it, again, a mids rating because I think it is for some people, but I just thought it was okay. I might watch it once or twice again in my life.
I'll also throw it a mids. I mean, like, there was one point, as you recall, where, like, genuine laughter was heard. Like, that's not a real horse.
Yeah. I mean,
funniest part of the film.
I was entertained watching it. It's not like I was hating my life or anything.
True. I wasn't considering walking out like Transformers 4.
Yeah, so definitely worth a watch for some people. And now it's time for Trailers of the Week. And this week we had 3 cool trailers for you. And the first trailer we checked out was for Warcraft. Everyone's been rumbling about this Warcraft movie because people are saying it has potential to become the first great video game movie. And the trailer, it was okay, I thought. Like, it gave me a vibe of Lord of the Rings meets Planet of the Apes, actually. That's what I was thinking.
Dude, I was thinking of Lord of the Rings as well.
Just because that medieval and like all the orcs fighting the humans trying to get equal rights or whatnot.
Orcs versus humans. How many times can we do this, guys?
And while I've tried the Warcraft game, I did not really care for the gameplay at all. But I've heard great things about the mythology and the story. So this is a great chance to get me interested in that mythology/story. Fingers crossed, because if this is good and Assassin's Creed is good, this could boom a new age of video game movies. Kind of like how we're in the age of comic book movies right now.
True that. I would love to see a world like that.
So that's one reason to go see it. And that movie's going to be hitting June 10th, 2016. But Paulo, how did you feel about the trailer?
I personally just wasn't too interested. I mean, I guess it's for some people. It might be super cool, like woohoo, World of Warcraft.
Yeah, like
movie,
I wasn't jumping up and down about it. Just I thought it has potential. I think.
I'm guessing it's mostly like OG World of Warcraft players that are going to be like caking themselves over this one. But, like, it's just kind of like my time's already split between so many interesting things. Like, do I need like another Lord of the Rings-esque movie in my life?
And one thing I'll give the trailer, it focused a lot on the orcs. I feel like movies like Planet of the Apes and Godzilla are afraid to focus on the monsters, and they tend to focus more on the humans. I'm hoping for this movie they focus mostly on orcs. That could be really interesting, get their culture and whatnot.
True, because in Planet of the Apes, the human storyline was the one that sucked.
But that was still a great movie, regardless. And the CGI was pretty nice, too, I thought.
I thought it was okay.
Could be worse. It's not quite Jungle Book level, I think.
Yeah, not at all.
Maybe they should have gone practical, man. Get them orc costumes. I'm just kidding.
That would have been fun to see.
But yeah, we'll keep you updated on all things Warcraft.
And the next trailer we have up on the dock is 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi, and I don't know, it personally kind of looks like another one of those American Sniper, or what was the one with the bomb squad or whatever with the terrorists and all that.
Oh, I forget. There's too many movies, like war movies like this these days.
Yeah, and then there was the one recently about the assassination of Saddam Hussein with SEAL Team 6, and like, they all just, kind of like how...
Yeah, they all kind of blend together.
Kind of like how Warcraft is just kind of blending into that Lord of the Rings demographic for me. This one seems to just kind of blur into that demographic. Not really my cup of tea, it seems, but how did you feel, Homer?
I mean, I'm not really into big war movies either. Sicario didn't wow me. We just saw that recently. The thing that did interest me about 13 Hours was Jim was in it.
Oh yeah.
And that's one thing I want to see him in a serious dramatic role. That alone might attract me to the movie to go see it.
Me as well.
And it also, who else was in the trailer?
I know.
Gale from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see him again. But then, like, halfway through the trailer, it said directed by Michael Bay.
Yeah, and then the explosion started happening, and you knew why.
And my excitement was dampened greatly from that, to be honest. Because Transformers 4, one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. Not many Michael Bay movies I enjoy out there. Perhaps taking a break from Transformers, this could be a good one, maybe. Fingers crossed. Maybe Jim will shine in a bad movie.
I hope to see Jim shine, and I want to see him take a life. I want to see the innocence leave Jim's eyes.
Boom! As he shoots children.
He's gonna shoot Gale in the face. It's gonna happen again.
Gale's gonna take a bullet to the eye.
No matter what universe he's in, man, Gale's gonna just eat one. And this one is set to be released January 15th of the 2016.
Oh man, actually that worries me a little more because, as you guys, we mentioned this on the podcast before, typically January is the dumping grounds of terrible movies. Like Kung Fu Panda 3 is hitting January.
Oh my god.
So a bunch of cheesy horror movies are hitting in January. It's pretty much not the time to be in theaters unless you're
dry season.
Unless you're rewatching Star Wars or something like that.
Oh.
So that worries me even further. Michael Bay and the January release date. Maybe Jim will save the film.
Jim.
And the final trailer we checked out this week was the Hateful Eight trailer, directed by Quentin Tarantino. And I'm a huge Tarantino fan, which automatically gets my interest in this movie. And I gotta say, the trailer interests me even further because, once again, it's a Western, just like his last movie, Django, so he's still using that Western feel.
Still rolling with that vibe, okay.
And honestly, Django is my favorite movie from his that he's done so far. And it kind of reminds me of his older movie, Reservoir Dogs, combined with Django, combined with Clue.
God.
Because the movie is about 8 people that are trapped in the cabin overnight because of the storm. And one of them murdered someone, and they're trying to figure out who it is. And they're 8 unlikable, like, criminal people. And I can just picture Tarantino writing some hilarious dialogue for these people.
It looks interesting, but
Tarantino usually doesn't disappoint when it comes to these kind of things.
True that.
I can't wait to see who the killer is. It's gonna be hopefully on the edge of my seat mystery.
What if the killer is cancer?
I hope you get cancer and die. Oh, none of you probably get that joke. It's from the Onion movie. You guys should check that out. It's a funny ass movie.
Absolutely. I'm glad to see Tarantino working with a bunch of actors he's already known to work well with, though, from the past.
Especially Samuel.
Oh yeah, that gives me much more hope.
His role in Django was so hilarious. Old, racist, even though he was black himself. And he's also worked with him in Pulp Fiction, so they work well together.
Also, another one of Tarantino's favorite actors, it seems, is Tim Roth from Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. He's also from one of my classic favorite shows, Lie to Me, which was on Fox a couple years ago. I'm not sure if it's still on.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Using actors he trusts, and considering it's going to be such a confined space, with it majority of the film taking place inside this cabin, so it's going to need some great acting to pull off just them talking pretty much the whole time. Probably some intense scenes. And like I was saying earlier, if it's like Django meets Reservoir Dogs with a murder mystery twist, this could be really great. And that's going to be hitting theaters December 25th, 2015, Christmas Day. Also the same day The Revenant comes out, so that's going to be one hell of a double feature.
Hell yeah.
And Tarantino, at the end of the trailer, it talks about how it was shot all in 70mm film. And I don't know why Tarantino keeps bragging about this. Like, he keeps talking about how he's never going digital, he's just staying film. Most filmmakers today are using digital because it's easier and it has better quality.
Yeah,
but
he says
film has like the more authentic look. I don't know. Personally, I think he's just living in the past a little bit, but to each his own, I guess. Yeah, I don't know why that's a selling point in the trailer. Just want to put that out there. But for you film geeks out there, could be very interesting.
Yeah, according to him, old school is glorious.
Yes.
Glorious 70mm.
And I'm also wondering what kind of cameo appearance Tarantino's going to make this time.
Oh, yeah.
He always puts himself in his films, so...
What if he's the killer?
Oh, that'd be hilarious, honestly. I can't wait for it, dude. It's honestly one of my most anticipated films, other than Star Wars this year.
I am very excited. And our final piece of movie news, it looks like Chloe Moretz, the chick who played Hit Girl in Kick-Ass.
And Carrie in the Carrie remake.
Oh, yeah. Both good roles, both good movies. She is going to be playing The Little Mermaid in the new live-action film that's coming out 2016 sometime or something? Or?
Actually, it's unspecified at this time because it's actually, this is the first we're hearing about it.
Oh, damn. So this is the rawest news.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well... Yeah, and it's going to be released by Universal Studios, not Disney, which is interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, honestly, it came as a shock to me because Disney has been in this phase of making live-action movies based off their animated, such as Beauty and the Beast. They're making Mulan soon. They made Cinderella.
Then
and
there was
all that stuff.
Was the newest Hook, whatever the hell that was?
Pan? No, that was just a prequel to Peter Pan or something.
God.
And I heard it was just awful. Like, I heard the beginning of the movie, Hugh Jackman plays Blackbeard, and for some reason it opens with him singing Teen Spirit by Nirvana. And I heard it's just like weird and...
What is happening?
Like, I hear that... Like, get off in this little tangent. I heard it was like pretty much some parts appealed too much to kids and some parts got too dark for kids, so it made no sense. But anyways, back to Little Mermaid film. I think Universal's trying to cash in on that Disney name with Little Mermaid. It said it's going to be based off the 1837 book. And personally, I'm only familiar with the animated movie, so I don't know what this movie's going to be like. Is it going to be darker? Is it going to go the way of Pan and just be weird?
Yeah, I've certainly never read the book, so I don't know what to expect myself.
If it was Disney, I would be jumping up and down, but since it's not, I'm holding off a little bit. I'm going to need to see a trailer to get totally sold on the movie.
True.
Little Mermaid was a decent little movie for when I was a kid, even though I hated the Little Mermaid world in Kingdom Hearts. Cough, cough.
I personally wonder who's going to play the lobster.
I think he's a crab.
Oh,
isn't
whatever, man. Yeah, I think he's a crab. If he was a lobster, someone would have eaten him already.
And that's the thing. I don't know if they're even going to allowed to be used the rights to the crab. They're definitely not going to be able to sing Under the Sea. You remember that song? Under the Sea. Because that's owned by Disney.
Up, man. It's going to be a whole different universe.
Yeah, so I wonder if they do go dark with it.
They should. You hear that, Universal?
Go as dark, rated A. NC-17, I mean. Based off the news, Chloe Moretz is playing The Little Mermaid. I could dig that. I mean,
I'm sold.
I'm really digging her career thus far, especially as Hit Girl.
Me as well.
Even though I want to Kick-Ass 3, damn it. Make it happen.
It kind of bothers me that she's getting, like, really hot as she gets older, but then, like, we knew her back when she was, like, basically, like, a kid, so it's just kind of like, that's an awkward boner.
Yeah, but no one's turning that down.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Not at this day and age.
Oh, no. Maybe And then she's just going to progressively get even hotter.
Yeah, it's just going to keep getting worse.
But yeah, I mean, we'll keep you posted on this Little Mermaid. I want to see what direction they take. There's some cool potential they could do, like some cool CGI sharks. I wonder if she's going to be able to, if the shark's going to be cheesy and talking, or if it's going to be like more realistic. So many possibilities they could do with this. They can have her attacking whalers from that Moby Dick movie. She could attack Edward Kenway and stuff.
Jesus. That'd be an interesting crossover.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. And like you were saying, that would do it for the movie news. Now we're moving on to the video game news of this week. And we were pretty skimpy for video game news, but we had some leaked footage from the canceled Star Wars game titled Star Wars First Assault. And we got the glimpse into the gameplay, even though the gameplay trailer only featured someone walking around a map, and it showed like actual no combat, just showed the environment really.
Just a couple weapons being used, a couple things being used.
Yeah, nothing too major. Everyone was freaking out. It's like Star Wars meets COD or whatever. And like Apollo was saying when we were watching it, isn't that basically already Battlefront?
Yeah,
like,
that's basically what they were going for.
This game was supposed to come out in 2012, right before Disney bought the rights to Star Wars and canceled the game.
Bastards. Sick bastards.
And I feel like whatever studio was making this First Assault game was just trying to cash in on the Battlefront money. And, Disney was probably like, nah, that's stupid. Let's just make an actual Battlefront. That's the way I think. And who knows, maybe they used some of the engine, the same engine this was ran on. I'm not quite sure, but in theory, it would have been cool to get a Star Wars shooter on the last gen.
It would have been.
But
kind of sucks they waited an entire generation, man.
I know. But totally worth it for those visuals. Especially
those tasty visuals.
Keeping it tasty. I want to bring this up also because if you were listening a couple months on the podcast, there was another canceled game for Darth Maul. And I wonder if Lucas Arts, the studio behind the Star Wars games, which is now under the EA banner, I wonder if they're going to resurrect any of these old games, such as the First Assault or the Darth Maul game we saw.
Darth Maul.
And there's actually, I saw online that there's a Kickstarter to get the Darth Maul game back into production.
Hot mama.
Which I'd be very down for, but they need to change up the story because they need to keep canon gold. They can't be digging into these weird expanded universe things that they were doing before.
They can't taint it.
One, I think it's already dumb that Darth Maul is back in general.
Oh, yeah.
But it's canon that he did come back because of the Clone Wars show, so if it's already canon, they might as well make a badass game out of it. That's how I feel. And I think if they're going to do an Obi-Wan trilogy, they should bring him back in that as well. And have Obi-Wan take out Darth Maul.
I would be down for that, I suppose.
And get more into Darth Maul's story other than having him being like a silent killer.
What was he, like an assassin or something? How exactly was his style? Because we didn't get to see much of him in episode 1.
Yeah, I guess he was pretty much like a Sith assassin. Yeah, that's a good assessment. But I know in the Clone Wars they get more into his history and how Palpatine found him and stuff. And actually the game was supposed to actually take place before and after Palpatine found him. So
that's sick.
It gives us some detail on Darth Maul, which I feel like we need, especially since they killed him off way too early.
Yeah.
But like he was cut in half, he fell who knows how many feet.
Literally, it's just an eternity. He just fell, man. He was just gone.
How he survived, I'll never know. I still think that's cheesy. And bringing him back in the live action movies is going to be hard to sell, I think. If they do bring him back in the Obi-Wan movies.
In the Clone Wars, didn't he just have like 4 legs like a spider almost?
Yeah, he had like spider legs at first till he got like normal android human legs.
God damn it.
I know, dude.
Now on to the next piece of video game news. Guitar Hero Live on the PlayStation 4. We've been playing it for about 2 weeks now, and it's a pretty sick game. I've been waiting for them to do something to really like change up the series, change up the gameplay in a way, to revamp it, get the excitement going again.
They've been pretty much copying and pasting with the same songs the past couple games.
Basically. But this time they changed it up with a whole new guitar, all these weird new button combinations and stuff. On top of that, instead of just seeing the computerized crowd, now you see a live crowd.
Which is pretty cool. They got like a live audience that filmed it somehow.
Yeah, and it looks pretty awesome actually. And they react to your gameplay the same as the old ones.
And they actually take advantage of it pretty well because there's parts. I remember I was watching Steven suck ass. Just kidding, Steven. But like he wasn't doing so well, and the crowd was like booing. And the crowd was just like motionless, but there was like one crowd member, his head banging like crazy.
Yeah.
And I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because it's basically realistic. No matter how much you suck, there's always going to be one fan that's just like, yeah. You might have just been wasted.
And if you suck, your bandmate's like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, when you guys failed that one song? What'd they say? Oh, I didn't think it was going to go like that. Like the lead singer.
Yeah, your lead singer just, I'm sorry guys, I didn't think it was going to go like this.
I thought that was pretty funny. Our lead guitarist is on acid right now. Sorry, guys.
It's funny how they like almost make it personal. People are like shouting in your face. It's great.
The story mode is really cool. That's the live mode, the live concerts and whatnot, even though I thought it was really short for the most part. But really quick, getting into the controller a little bit, they really did change up the controller. Like you guys were saying, they made it easier yet harder at the same time. Because now it's like a row of 3, but it's a row on top of another row of 3. So it's like 6 all together stacked on 2 separate rows. I feel like it's to appeal to people who couldn't reach their pinky over for orange.
Like me.
Me too.
It's so difficult, my God.
I'm not a musician, damn it.
I can't do this.
But to be honest, when I tried Guitar Hero Live, I kind of sucked at going up and down the rows too.
Yeah, it's almost more difficult than pinky. Like you gotta learn a whole different way to do it now.
But it makes the game feel a little more realistic, like you're really playing guitar, I guess.
True.
Ever so slightly.
Makes the aspect of having strings on an instrument more feelable.
Oh yeah, I feel ya. But the game feature I really enjoyed that I was watching you guys play was the TV mode. And basically that was a Guitar Hero channel that's online where 24 hours a day it has a random music video playing and you could play along with people online.
And play against them for the score.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder why they never did this before. It's just the music video in the background.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And it's really sick because sometimes music videos can be really sick. And the library for this particular channel is so big.
Oh, God.
It even has because I'm a metalhead, it has heavy stuff for me. It has a huge variety. Even
It's got some weirder stuff like Next Time That He Cheats by Carrie Underwood.
Oh yeah. It even had Eminem.
Yeah.
Oh, and it had Bangarang by Skrillex.
By Skrillex, and not a guitar part, just a synthesizer, but hey, you can play it anyway.
Hey, no one's questioning that. I feel like that was revolutionary. It's just all the time a new song's playing, and
it's like infinite fun potential, like just infinite.
And they add new songs constantly, so it always changes.
Oh.
And in this mode, they have a premium, which is special game content that you have to buy with real money, which is kind of lame. Oh, yeah.
Microtransactions.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a way to get around that. You have to play these challenges, and apparently some of the challenges are supposed to be hard as fuck for the really premium stuff. And I thought this was really cool because Steven was playing one of the premium things because he unlocked it with the challenge. He was playing Avenged Sevenfold live at Download Festival. It was the actual concert that he was playing.
That's awesome.
That's really cool because if you miss a concert or something, you could play it live.
Literally.
And
my lord.
And it's cool to be in that audience. If you're actually, you could be like, "Oh, I'm in Guitar Hero," in the background or something.
That's true.
And you
could end up in a video game and not even know.
And if you're in the biggest mosh pit of your life, maybe that'll be on there. And I thought that was really cool, reliving concerts in a video game. I never thought that would happen. I'm really glad they're doing that. And they had a special one where you could play all the past songs from Guitar Heroes and stuff like that. Also in this mode, you could just, if you don't want to play the channel live with anyone because it's just a random song every time, every time you beat a song, it gives you play points. So you could go to a playlist and play any of the songs from the current live channel that you might have missed. One disappointing thing is, once they're done with all the songs, and they take them off, and they take the most popular ones and put them as DLC, which I think is kind of lame. I wish they just left it in the
They really
soundtrack.
should just leave it. That makes me sad.
But it is cool that they refresh it all the time. That way you get new music. And I wonder what they're going to have to do to get the sequel, because if they're always refreshing the TV section, what's the incentive of buying a sequel?
It's true. They're going to have to come out with new, I was going to say new weapons. No, new instruments entirely.
Yeah, new instruments. Maybe get a live action actual story of a band, maybe.
That would be crazy cool.
I hope they go that route, actually. But overall, for Guitar Hero Live, with its revolution of the music game playing industry, where Rock Band 4 kind of failed, in my opinion, because they did the copy and paste thing again, I'm going to have to actually give Guitar Hero Live a wax, and I'm not a big rhythm game player.
I also would throw it a wax. It's the first one in years that makes me want to go grab it up.
And I wonder if Rock Band's going to copy off this, like, Rock Band Live. Even though Guitar Hero kind of copied Rock Band one time with Band Hero.
Yeah.
They're always copying each other.
And failing.
It's only a matter of time until it merges. Rock Band versus Guitar Hero.
Heck yeah.
I don't know how that would work. But
well, it's the guitarist versus, like, the rest of the band, because they hate each other, I guess. That's how it works.
Pretty much the only gripe I have with the game, they could have had a longer story, I think, but I guess they have to keep recording new audiences at different venues.
That's true. It would kind of, become really expensive at a point.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how the sales did on this, but maybe if they succeeded, they'll go even bigger with this Guitar Hero Live 2.
Yeah, I hope to see more.
Oh, me
Absolutely.
too. And that'll do it for today's episode. Thank you all for listening. And don't forget what this is all about. We do this each and every week because we want to get a finished animated product of our TV show, Stoner Man, that has the potential to have the most unique comedy on television and some really kick-ass action. All we need is one episode, and we know you'll be sold, and we know the studios will be sold too. We feel like this is the best path for us to get our foot in the door. All you have to do is visit our website, www.stonerman.net. There you find information on our Kickstarter of our show, stay up to date on our podcast, our strain of the month, and soon our first stoner story is hitting the web. So, bunch of cool stuff on the horizon. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and follow us on Twitter and Facebook and all that cool stuff. And as always, stay lifted, my friends.
Oh, I can't believe the podcast is over already.
I know.
Goodbye, Internet. It's been fun.
Yeah.
And, I guess Ryder's not here, so, as always, may the Force be with you.
Always. Until next week.